But even if we did have a podcast, what would be the name?
Excuse me?
That's it.
Can everybody just close their eyes for a second? I would just like to pray for your ears and your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What we're about to discuss here today is a serious matter, but it is bound to hell because that is indeed where my mouth may be leading me. I just not rebuke Semaj.
We rebuketh thee, okay?
Just want to say that I apologize.
Do you?
Right now, I don't. 'Cause, no.
It's the way
But
this
get
is not
y'all-
a moment of silence.
This is not a moment of... Okay,
But
well, no,
get
we're going to be
y'all-
quiet.
Y'all clicked here. Y'all know who we are. Y'all know what we represent. So you know what you were signing up for.
That
and I want to
part.
apologize. I want to apologize for it. I censor myself enough for you all on a daily basis, but I refuse to do it on a platform that we built for us and our shenanigans. So let's get into it, Semaj, with the premise.
For freedom?
Okay, because that's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Starting right now.
Do you think Rosa... Do you think Harriet Tubman was walking around with a nice shiny crown on her head when she was taking slaves?
Wait.
To freedom!
The bomb sound. The bomb sound.
Okay.
It's the way you're going to jail. It's the way you're
This is
going
the
to
way
jail.
we started off. Like
On
this
3,000.
On 3,000, and I love it.
Sorry.
It's the energy I needed. It's the energy I needed. Honestly,
Juwan,
truly.
if you want to calm us down with some wise words from our good auntie, you can go ahead.
Are you talking about... You, no, I would
Juwan,
not.
say
No, I
it.
would not. No, I
Say
would
it.
not.
Please, just say it one line.
And when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Y'all are going to jail. Y'all are going to jail.
Okay. All right. Well, that I don't even know what to say. I am Semaj.
I'm JeJuan.
And I'm Tay.
This is Xcuse Me podcast. Welcome, y'all.
Who gave
Aren't
us
you
a
happy to be
platform?
here? You said
Who
what?
gave us a platform?
We did.
We deserved
Took
it.
It's
We deserved it.
reparations.
Yeah, of course. It's reparations. That's what we deserve.
Oh my God. And that's
Come
really
on.
why we did it. We deserve a voice. We deserve a piece of the pie.
Mhm.
We deserve it all.
Of
And
course.
a piece of the
take it.
pie. Baby, we taking the whole pie.
Wait, what's her name said in Daddy's Little Girls? If you want it, you got to take it.
Mm. What's her name say? I think it was Players Club. She said, was it Players Club? She said you got to get what you want to get what you. What did she say? You got to
take
use.
what you want to give. You gotta.
You got to use what you got to get what you want.
Yeah,
was
that.
that Players Club?
Okay.
And I believe it was Dr. Martin Luther King that said,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I am dead. Well, as you can see, our voices, they're gonna need some help because we got a Capricorn, we got an Aries, and a Sagittarius. So this is a whole lot of opinionation,
Mm-hmm.
is what I would call it. And I'm not
come on,
ready.
opinionation, holleration, hateration,
Okay,
love
in
that.
this dancery.
and this dancery,
Niggeration.
in this faggery.
Look at Semaj acting shook.
I can't.
You know who we are. You know what we represent.
Her.
I'm dead. Well, what is the card pulled today that y'all would like to-
Yes, let's pull some cards today. Let's shake the
Yes.
table.
We're going to
Okay.
pull the cards of these dusty, crusty, old, standing on the tip of their buckets politicians. And
One
the
toe in the grave.
period.
One toe
Not
in the
even one
grave.
toe, baby. It's half the body already. Baby, they got everything picked out. They is ready to go.
Oh,
They
my.
are ready to go.
Decrepit.
Oh,
They're going straight to hell. That's where they're going.
straight there as soon as they kick it.
Period. That's why
Straight-
that's why they be holding on for so long, because they know who they are. They know
Evil
what they represent.
sustains.
Mm.
Evil sustains.
Eva does. Oh my gosh! But we
But
prevail.
JeJuan, no, like what did you mention, JeJuan? Because I want you. This was your topic.
It was $600 for the next stimulus check. What is that going to cover?
Baby,
can y'all tell me Can y'all tell me right now what is $600 going to cover? So you got the phone bill.
Maybe.
Let's talk about it. So we got the phone bill that's already $100, depending on what service you got and what your plan is. Okay, that's $100 off top. So you got $500 now, right? Mm. You got car note. I'm 22 years old. For me, insurance is $200. If not, let's say on the safe side and say $100. Just we being nice.
Girl, I was going to say liability, babe, because it was a cash car. You know.
Okay.
I'm gonna be pushing the cash car off the lot unless I have a salary.
I mean, it's what the U.S. wants for us.
And honestly, truly, that's what the U.S. wants. We'll get there. Oh, we'll get there. So that's already, let's do $200 off the top. So that's $300. Then what else you got to pay for? You got to pay for groceries, right? If you eat, it's gone right then and there.
If you have kids, baby.
If you have kids,
groceries, you pushing up there $200-$300
already.
For that month.
No time, no money for bills, no money for rent. Because baby, the rent is due. The rent is due on the 1st.
Child, but that's the thing. I saw somebody tweet saying, okay, so we got $1,200 when it was 3,000 cases a day or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then now we get $600 for 30,000 cases a day. Baby, the math isn't mathing.
It never maths. Never.
It never maths.
It never
it's
maths.
It's not mathing for us. It's mathing for them.
For them, and I don't understand that. Because if they were to do the same thing, if they were to impose the same laws, if we were to impose the same laws on them, then it would be a problem. Because
let me say this. Really what it is, a lot of them grew up privileged. A lot of them grew up, they come from money. And this is my whole entire stance on politicians. I don't think that any politicians should represent society. They should reflect our society. Mm-hmm. So majority of our society does not make over $100,000 a year. Majority of our society do not come from households with parents that have PhDs and could afford to send you to private school and drive these luxury cars and live in these gated communities and so on and so forth. So I feel like, we have people that are out of touch with the reality of what normal Americans live like, and they're trying to make policies and pass laws that they feel like, okay, this may help. And they're so out of touch with the actual reality that those laws, those policies end up going over the heads of people that they quote unquote want to help.
Right.
And I say quote unquote want to help because if they truly wanted to help, a lot of these politicians would leave those fancy offices that they work in. Mm-hmm. They would leave those fancy houses that they stay in, those fancy safe gated communities, whatever the hell you want to call it. They would leave those places and go off and actually look and put themselves within these communities that are struggling, and they would listen to the voices of the people. They wouldn't wait for an intern to, they try to push it off on their interns to go off into these communities and come back and bring them what they see. And it's not telling the whole story because they're only bringing bits and pieces, or they're only retaining bits and pieces of this information. And it's just like, baby, to hell with them all.
And it's this thing of well, people don't really need it because, everybody wants to be on welfare and stay on welfare and be this and that. And the U.S. can't make enough money because of inflation.
Because they don't know how the economy works. They don't know how.
But what economy? All of this is made up.
It is. And let me tell you this, the gag of this all, they want to talk about the next stimulus check may be $600, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. I think the $1,200 wasn't even enough, to be honest. I think if you're going to put out a stimulus check for a month, you need to be giving people $2,600.
Period.
Flat rate. It shouldn't be any.
Maybe I say 300. I say 3,000. I say 3,000.
It shouldn't be any requirements.
Especially when all these other countries are doing $7,000, $6,000.
Yeah, and the whole thing is, it's not going to affect the economy as much as they claim that it's going to affect the economy, because we see now people are still putting money back into the economy. Mm-hmm. So that $3,000, however much they give, is going to go straight back into the economy. It's going to circulate. And there's
Right.
still enough people working that are able to still influence and impact the economy for it to go up. But what really pissed me off was the fact that just maybe a few weeks ago, they just passed an increase to the military budget. And I think they have like $900 billion or something, or
Like,
900 million or something like that they just put inside the military budget.
So make it make sense. How can you fit that military? What is the military? What are we even doing? We're in a panty.
My whole thing
We're in
is this.
We're in a panoramic. We're in a panini.
We're in a Panera bread.
We're in a Panera bread. Where are we spending money?
Seared fish fillet.
Thank you. What are we doing? What is the military doing in a panty? What are they doing? Why can you not allocate that money to education? This is why when the term comes, defund the police. What do you think we mean by defund the police?
This is the thing. People want to talk about, okay, well, we need the military. They're protecting us. Protecting us for what? From what, first of all? And we're not going to have anybody. We're not going to have anybody to protect if y'all are forcing hundreds of thousands and millions of Americans out of their homes onto the streets with no food, no necessities, nothing to survive and live off of. So it shows where our politicians, our government is more concerned with going over colonizing. Is what they're doing. They're killing innocent women, children, and men. That is what they're doing, because we hear about it all the time from these people that are in these countries that the United States is quote unquote trying to help or trying to protect us from what, I don't know. But we hear all these people saying our soldiers, our military are terrorizing their countries and ruining them. And our government is more concerned with colonizing and trying to attain resources in these other countries and paying dust to the actual citizens that they're supposed to take care of. And it's kind of like, okay, all of y'all swear and, y'all put y'all's hands on these Bibles, these religious things or whatever the hell you believe in. And y'all want to say that, I swear an oath to do what's right by the American people and whatever the case may be. And then y'all go and y'all turn y'all backs on the very
the American people do not give two about your black
That is the thing. That is really it for me. I feel like it's all a cycle. I have a friend who studied criminal justice. I had a friend who studied criminal justice, and she wanted to be a police officer. And she went to the police force, whatever. She became I don't know. But she was at the desk putting in, like, she would get calls from people, I guess 911 calls about missing children, all of these things. And so she was just talking about that dynamic in the police
force.
In the police force. So for me, hearing what she has talked about it, when we talk about defund the police, when we talk about military, a lot of people say they're protecting us. And if I ask them what are their duties and what are their responsibilities, you don't know. So when we talk about their budget, the police budget, there's no reason why it should be millions of dollars for a police budget. And most of that budget is for covering up wrongful suits. Most of their budget is covering wrongful suits that they have done to the public. So what are you actually protecting when most of your money that you're getting is for what you're doing harmful to other people? And then you have most of their duties, like traffic and all of this other stuff, is being taken away from actually helping people that are in harmful situations. Why are police covering traffic? Why are police covering mental ill patients? Why are the military going in these other countries?
Why are they even responding?
When there's no war?
Yeah, why are they? I want to say, piggybacking off of what Semaj said, why are police officers even the first responders when people are calling about mentally ill people?
Domestic abuse.
Domestic violence, things of that nature. I can understand having a police officer there to assist a social worker or somebody that specializes in actually helping people in those situations, just to assist, to stand to the side in case they do get violent, but allowing that social worker or whoever it is to be the middleman, because they are the professionals. They are the people with the degrees. And that's another thing that I'm going to touch on. They're the people with the degrees. They're the people that know how to truly de-escalate situations. And my whole thing is, they posted the other day on Twitter, like, California was going to start requiring officers to go to college. And people, surprisingly, were complaining and was like, oh, now I'm going to have an officer speaking to me. And like, this snobbish manner, or this using this, complex language when they speak to me. And my whole thing is, hell no, I'm not complaining about a police officer going to school, because half of these officers don't even know how the basis level of how the government works. Half of these officers don't have a basic understanding of how laws work, the laws that are currently being passed, the laws that they're supposed to uphold, how they're supposed to respond to situations. Half of these officers don't know how to de-escalate situations. Half of these officers are not equipped with any basic knowledge of psychology and interpersonal communication and intrapersonal communication and things of that nature. So when we discuss these things, when California are passing these laws, you have to look at the state of California in itself. California is by far ahead of any other state in this country. So people are, turning their nose up at California for making this decision. First of all, these were things that y'all asked for when niggas was out here rallying and talking about Black Lives Matter and in the streets talking about defund the police. And each and every one of them were on Twitter talking about, yes, we need to defund the police and we need to require them to get an education and something, Y'all were okay with it. But now people are actually making those steps to listen to the input that people had to pass these laws, to do these things. It's better than doing nothing. And I will say this, I feel like it should be more of an emphasis on getting educated officers in these positions. Will it help? A little bit. I don't think it's going to solve every single problem, but it will help a lot more than it is, because you have a bunch of intelligent people in these positions of power, and they're just power hungry. They're ignorant and they're power hungry. They have mental issues.
And
they have mental issues.
And white.
And that's another thing that I would say.
Yes, I'm gonna bully them. And white. And 6 months of training? Who approved 6 months of training? And that's all you get?
I couldn't even go in with 2 years of schooling to a job and be like, well, I'm on track to get my degree, so I'm going to have it eventually. So I have some skills that this job requires, even though this job is going to train me outside of the degree that I already attained. That's another thing that we don't discuss. People want to talk about, well, you get a degree, you still go to these jobs and you still have to train. There's a training here still. So on top of the degree that I already have that, gave me the skills, the knowledge that I'm going to need in some manner to do these jobs, I still have to get trained to actually do that job. Police officers get 6 months of training and that's it. They have no education. Half of them can't even form a proper sentence. The sentence structure is terrible.
Come on, subject and predicate.
And it's just like, I went to school. I don't want to drag them. I don't want to
drag them. This is the show to drag. This is it right now. This is
I went to school right now. I went to school with a lot of people a few people that ended up becoming police officers. And baby, I know for a fact, half of y'all were struggling the whole entire time. Y'all were cheating off of me in history. Y'all were cheating off of me in American government. Y'all didn't even have a basic knowledge of how our government worked. And then y'all went over and became police officers because that's the only thing that you could become that would pay you for no education, having no education. And it's just like, you see this. And my whole thing is, I don't have an issue with all police officers, but I understand that the system that you were a part of plays into Black oppression, Black death. It plays into xenophobia, into misogyny,
homophobia, yes,
and homophobia and violence against disabled people.
It's a cesspool.
I hate when police officers want to get on here and take up this victim complex of, well, I'm not dumb. I'm not okay. Then move your ass around. Go sit down, because this isn't pertaining to you, but this is pertaining to your system. And this, we know majority of the people that are in this system that you get paid by are mentally unequipped or are not able to, shouldn't be in these positions at all.
The things that we ask for are not even argumentative to me. Number one is, you came into a system that was made to catch slaves. So when you come into that system and it never being reformed and it never being changed, and that's your mindset. If we go back to history, a lot of people don't know the history. And while I'm here on this platform, I would say, a couple of things. Number one is, I don't know if it was the 50s or 60s, when white people were coming out as the KKK and the skinheads and all of these groups that were openly harassing and marginalizing these other groups, they said, go to the police station because you can do those same things and get paid for it. So a lot of people who were part of the KKK and skinheads and all that stuff were rushing to the police force because why would I not want to do what I'm already doing and getting paid for it? Number one. And then number two is, even talking to my friend, she was saying the psychological effects of it, because you hear these calls all day. You see the things happening all day and you kind of get numb to it. You start getting like complacent with whatever is going on. And so you have to make a conscious effort to be like, you know what, even though this is something that I'm seeing every day, I can't let it be something that just doesn't affect me anymore. And then number two, you can't join a police force that's already racist and then sit there and do nothing and let these people be racist. Even though there's all these horrible cops and all these good cops, you not saying anything is reinforcing their bad behavior. So all of y'all are inherently bad in the end. I don't understand what's not giving to that. And second, I would like to say defund the police. A lot of people don't know what that means. And Obama got a lot of flack for saying that if you just say this one statement, that's not going to affect anything or move anything forward. And I think what he meant by that is saying, us just saying this topic, people are not going to look it up. People are not going to find out the information for themselves. And so you just saying defund the police is giving them a hand to just combat you and say whatever they want to say about the subject. And so for me, defund the police means we need to get these budgets down, because there is no way that their budget should mostly be made up of money to handle wrongful suits. We need to get that budget down and start giving that to educational funds. I remember watching a video talking about why are police officers in our neighborhoods when they don't even live here. So we're giving our tax money to people so that they can go spend it in their own neighborhoods and spend it with their kids, and so they can live a lavish lifestyle, and we're losing money. It's not circulating in our neighborhoods. And so to me, that's the focus that I think people need to understand is nobody's doing their research. If you did your research and if you cared, those are the two things. If you cared about people and you did your research,
if you did your
then
research,
there should be nothing.
if you restudied your dictionary. Side joke, by the way. If you restudied your dictionary,
baby,
you would know. And then that's how
if you found out that homophobia does not mean that you're gay. Inside joke.
Baby.
It doesn't make sense.
Because they don't want to.
And it's sad though, because y'all choose to be willingly ignorant. Ignorance is bliss on a whole nother level with y'all, and it's so ridiculous.
My thing is have one or the other. You can't do two things at one time. You can't outwardly speak on something and not know what it's about. Either you don't know and shut up, or you figure out the answer and you say something. I don't understand.
Thank you.
I also want to say this though, because this is what I hear a lot from like police officers. When you ask them why they wanted to become a police officer, especially like police officers of color and Black police officers, because I don't believe in using people of color and Black interchangeably. It's not the same at all. But when you ask,
it was a way for them to feel included. But go ahead.
Yes, yeah, and we need to stop that. We're going to get into that as well.
When you ask people of color and Black police officers why they became police officers, it's always to change the system. Okay, we never asked them, so how are you changing this system? They believe that they're changing the system every day, waking up and being a decent person. That is not changing the system at all.
That is not.
No,
that is not. You're not helping
anybody
by waking up and being decent. How are you challenging other officers?
By waking up decent, baby. It's not.
It's not.
I wake up decent every day, baby. I'm not changing nothing. Nothing's changing over here,
and
honey.
That is a very... I'm finna drag the heteros like I always do. That is a very heteronormative mindset of I can change something by just embodying all of these traits that are positive. And it's not. If you're not actively, people want to say that, oh, I'm an ally. I support this. I support that. No, the hell you ain't. Being an ally, I don't believe in allyship. I said this before in a Clubhouse chat. Clubhouse is amazing, first of all, but I'm gonna come back to that. In the Clubhouse chat, we were talking about that. I don't believe in allyship because a lot of people use it to say that I'm for the quality of life. I'm for supporting these people and protecting them. But when you see these people in situations when they're struggling, you don't go out and help. When you see somebody being attacked on social media and using violent language, you don't say anything. When your friends are joking about this stuff, you don't say anything. And I just want to say this because I was listening to a trans woman talk on Clubhouse, and she mentioned this. She said, Black LGBTQ people, especially Black trans women, always speak up for Black cis hetero men. We always show up for them. Always. We don't second guess. We don't go out and we don't say things like, well, let me see what they did first so I can know if I need to support it. We automatically show up, no ifs, ands, or buts, no research needed. And then they're turning around and targeting us and using harmful language and killing my sisters and targeting my brothers and the theys and the thems and so on and so forth. And so, people want us, I'm pro-Black, da-da-da. No, the fuck you not. You pro-Black heterosexual. You pro-Black what falls into the category of what you feel like Blackness is. And I
what you think Blackness is.
Life.
Black heterosexuals always try to talk about, we're multifaceted and,
we're so diverse and we're the future and we can do this and we can do that. Exotic. But when it comes to the gays, it's
if it's not something you agree with, you push it to the side.
And wait, can we talk about what don't you agree with? What do you not agree with? Do I have to agree with you being Black? Do I have to agree with you wearing glasses? Do I have to agree with you liking women? What are you not agreeing with? Thank you. All right. Moving on.
But no, like back to police officers. It's like these police officers of color and these Black police officers, y'all aren't challenging your peers. When y'all aren't challenging their viewpoints, their perspectives, y'all aren't challenging the language that they use, that y'all hear them use all the time. Y'all aren't challenging how they acted in situations. Y'all aren't challenging how they handle situations. You're not doing anything. So you stepped into this field to help change it, and you're sitting. I'm gonna sit here. You're and being be quiet.
Stagnant. Shout out to Dr. Taylor, because you're just sitting there. You're just sitting there being stagnant. You're not moving. You're just holding up the wall. Do something. Go ahead.
And I also want to get back to just switching back to Black LGBTQ people. One thing that I hate so much is the erasure of of Black LGBTQ people's contributions to civil rights, to Black culture,
you don't talk about that enough.
In general. We don't talk about it enough.
I want to get into that. I want to get into that Langston Hughes.
Yeah, people every day when we on Twitter, when people be like, "Oh, I'm sure," I do find stuff out. I still do find stuff out about like some Black leaders and icons, things like that, and I'm like, "Oh, I never known that." And a part of it is my ignorance, but I still actively go out there and search for these things because I understand the education system failed us. Black society has failed us. The Black community has failed us,
and we don't speak on it if we don't know about it.
Right?
Yeah.
So when these things are being shared, it's like, wow, these are the things that Black queer, Black LGBTQ youth needed to see so they can know that I have somebody that I can aspire to be like. I can do other things. I can go into politics. I can go into education. I can go into STEM. I can go into all of these things because all of these people that have come before me and that represent me in all of my traits like your makeup, like who you are. Yes. That these people were out here doing these things. These people were out here fighting against the government. These people were out here changing, throwing tables. Because let me say that. One thing you cannot say about Black LGBTQ people is that we're scared of anything. We go into situations ready to fight. And we're ready. Once our feet touch that ground, we're getting shit done. You can never say that we are not shaking tables, that we are not causing disruption, that we are not making changes. We do. And that's why we have made so much progress. And the little time that we've had, and people want to talk about, well, the LGBTQ community is, they're getting all of these rights. Y'all are making progress and with laws and support and things like that. And we're doing it because we are not trying to exclude people. We're not trying to oppress others. We recognize what we want and we go out there and we do that damn work. We don't have people doing work and then trying to turn around and oppress people in the same language that they're using, or in the same breath that they're using to try to uplift and affirm somebody else. We don't do that shit.
And
And
why?
Why? Because bullying works
where education has failed.
And let me say this. Bullying works when education has failed, but I do not believe in bullying the children at all. I'm against bullying.
Not the shirt.
No.
Why? Just check the shirt.
You're against bullying the children. We're not against bullying everybody else.
When you a grown ass adult with
you
the
can
ability,
get bullied.
And let me not say that, because I was going to say with the ability to think for yourselves, children are very intelligent. And I think Semaj, did we talk about that? Yeah, we did. Children are very intelligent, and people try to say that children don't know. It's too early to talk to them about certain things. Baby, these kids know. These kids are
grown.
These kids can talk. These kids can probably talk y'all underneath the table. I be on TikTok and watching them talking about social issues. These kids will talk y'all underneath a table, and y'all will not have any rebuttal whatsoever, because they come with the facts, they come with the stats. That's one thing about it.
They come with the common sense.
When people say they're going to change the world, they are, and I truly believe it. They may be eating Tide Pods and all that other stuff, but
see, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. Those are not the same children.
Child, I forgot that they was out here eating Tide Pod. Oh my God.
No, and no, let me say this. Some of them are the same children, though, because when I be on TikTok, I'll go through some of the stuff and I'll watch some of the videos, because I'm like, oh baby, let me look at your content. It's okay, Semaj.
Is your camera set up okay? Okay, let's stop here so that way.
Okay, no, we're fine.
Okay, we're fine. Good.
I'll look at the content and I'm like, okay, let me go to their page. I was going to say, where did my sister go? Okay, there he is.
There you go.
I'll be like, let me go to their page and let me see what they into. And I'll scroll through and they'll be doing a bunch of tomfoolery. And I'm like, okay, baby, I thought this was... I thought y'all was going to educate me. But no, and I believe it, because that's part of their youth. That's part of their youth, having fun, making memories and stuff like that. So I don't hold that against them, but it was just a little fun little jab. But yeah, I truly believe that they're going to be the people that change the world. And as much as older people try to talk down on them, and people are like, y'all are more sensitive. We're not sensitive at all.
No, we're not sensitive, baby. We're uncovering the bullshit that y'all laid to rest, that y'all put ignorance. Things underneath that was so toxic that it's like that's another thing too we got to talk about. Things that we seen or that our parents endured, processes, education, just everything that our generation before us learned and that they're doing right now, and them calling us sensitive is it's very toxic. And it's very, what's the word? It's very ignorant, and I'm looking for the word, y'all.
I think that, I want to say this. I don't know if this is what you were about to say or what you were implying. I think a lot of it is them trying to gaslight us for their ignorance. And for how they fucked up society. Because I'm not necessarily saying that everything that's wrong with society is because of the generation before us or the generation before that or the generation before that. But it's the fact that y'all have all played into these things and just let them be swept under the rug. Y'all let people treat y'all any type of way. Well, not let people treat y'all any type of way, because the civil rights movement, people was out here getting beat on, getting killed, and they were still fighting for these things. But we still have that. We still have protests. We still have marches and movements and things of that nature. But the thing is, a lot of us are we're more bold, and they should be proud of that. They should be proud of that we're learning from them, that we're more so going to speak up more than they did. Because in a lot of situations, it's like, okay, we're just going to sit back and we're not going to speak on that. We're going to be loud about this, but we're not going to speak on that because we not ready for it. And that's another thing. They weren't ready. It's always, we're not ready for that, or we can't do that shit. Society don't think it's time. And
they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready when it happens to them.
Right.
You remember
But we
that
can't.
video of what you call it, Kia, when she was talking about Shakana? You know, y'all put y'all people, you know, the handicapped people in the back room ain't got no sunlight. You know that's what we do.
Girl,
Please,
Kia
please.
Forte is a mess. And her little busted van. Did she pay her car note for that van? Because I heard she ain't paying the car note.
Did she pay for her teeth? That's what I want to know. Did she finish paying for her teeth?
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
She is getting one collect check from my neck and my back. Can y'all please just stop?
Okay. I want to get on one last thing though before we get into Psyched Out. Can we talk about? I know we had the discussion about Lizzo and her being the fat black woman that everybody wants her to be, and her being this embodiment of
I'm glad you mentioned
liberation.
The forefront, you know.
I want to say this, and this isn't. I can't. You know, I consider myself more bigger. You know, I have roles, I have fat, but I don't think that I'm still my body type. I don't think I'm allowed to enter that space and speak on it. So I'm going to speak on something that I can relate to. Yeah, that can translate over to that. So I think it is extremely unfair for me to anybody or any celebrity that hasn't stepped into, like, let's say they were black and queer or black and gay. I have never looked to them to speak up for black gay issues. I've never looked to them to talk about me and speak for my representation and my respect and things like that. And so I think in a sense that, you know, we have black gay people that try to run up on black gay celebrities and, like, you know, you're not doing enough, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. I think a lot of it in that constant harassment that we do to these people is because we lack the traits within ourselves, and we realize that they embody these things, and
that we want to be, that we truly want to
be, and that we want. So then we try to force all of this being a leader, being a spokesperson onto them. And it's like, no, you need to learn to love yourself within first. And then you build a community of other people that love themselves. And within that community of those people that y'all have brought together, y'all start building the platform to do that work yourself. I think it's very tiring to keep trying to force these things onto people, because especially black people, we're already going through so much shit. You know, Lizzo already goes through so much shit mentally. So to try to force that role onto her and to try to force her to be a spokesperson for, you know, bigger people, it's unfair to Lizzo, because Lizzo has actively spoken about her mental health and her struggles and struggles loving herself. And I also feel like, you know, so if you have this person telling you that I'm not mentally there, I still struggle, stop trying to force that on them. That work is tiring. It takes a toll. It's taxing, and it drains you. And she doesn't need that. If she doesn't want it, she has the right to turn around and say, I don't want to do this. And for y'all to respect that and move the fuck on. And I don't think anything, and like I said, I can't really speak towards what that happened, but I don't think she did anything intentionally to try to harm anybody. Nothing she did was in harm. So like I said, I feel like it takes away from these actual issues for y'all to always take up a victim complex and try to say, it's harming me, it's harming me, it's harming me, and there was no harm done. It takes away from it, because then you have people in society that's like, y'all are overreacting. Y'all are being quote unquote sensitive. And it's like, y'all are being sensitive. Yeah, y'all, the feelings that you have are very valid. It's just the way you're going about it and who you're attacking. It's not what you should do. You should not turn on somebody else that you are saying that is worthy of the love, the, you know, of self-love, of body positivity and all this other stuff, but you're turning around attacking that person and shaming them and doing the same thing that society does to you. That is unfair and it's tacky, it's rude as hell. And it makes people look at you and be like, okay, well, we're not going to support y'all because y'all tearing each other down. And I want our communities, I want every individual community to learn that you cannot be attacking each other while trying to claim that we're building each other up.
Or that we're better than.
It's counterproductive.
We're not. It's very counterproductive. Oh my gosh, that's so.
I think it's that bigger conversation of you're setting yourself up for failure. We have never in history had celebrities put on this pedestal to be activists and to be like headstrong in our communities.
Mhm.
If we had activists, if we had leaders and political leaders or whatever in our community, it was because they chose that job. It wasn't because we put them on that pedestal. And so when you put that on somebody else and you say that they should be talking about this and they should be da 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 da, when you put that on somebody and they're not prepared for it and they don't have all the knowledge and the wherewithal to tell you what you need to know, you're setting yourself up for failure because they can't give that to you. And when
And
they
a lot of
don't,
these, a
I
lot
would
of
rather
these people,
them.
Go, JeJuan, go.
Okay. I would rather them not. See, that's the thing too. I would rather you not speak on something you don't know or not coming from, like you just
Right.
did. Tay, accountability, a reflection. If I can't speak on this topic, if I'm not this person, if I am not in this person's life 24/7, or I'm not this person, I cannot speak on anybody else's experience but my own.
Right.
period.
So I get 100% what y'all are saying.
And I want to say this because a lot of these people that were attacking her are quote unquote social media activists, or they are quote unquote activists for the.
Oh, you did not just say social media activists. Oh.
You know, because a lot of time, let me just say this. We have seen a lot of these people their activism extend to just social media, and once they put that phone down, once they turn that
And
computer off,
hashtag, don't forget that hashtag.
and that
Don't
hashtag,
forget that black square.
yeah,
black
and
square.
all that other stuff. And once they walk and actually, are moving through their lives, that activism is nowhere to be seen. But one thing that I do want to touch base on is a lot of these people sat here the whole entire summer saying that we shouldn't be looking at celebrities to be activists in our communities because they're so, they're a celebrity. They don't relate, and this and that, or whatever the case may be. Y'all actively said that, and in the same breath turned around, Lizzo, you're an activist. Lizzo, you're fighting for us. Lizzo, you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to represent me and you need to fight for us and you need to speak for us and all this other shit. But y'all just said celebrities are not activists. Right. They were using who it was like a black leader. I can't remember. I think it was Malcolm X that touched base on that when he mentioned something about, celebrities cannot be the people that lead us to liberation. They cannot. They have privilege that we don't have. So for you to sit here and say that this celebrity, no offense to her, love Lizzo. She's very talented, very beautiful. And I wish her the best. And I wish that, she keeps getting raised and given a bigger platform musically to do more. But at the same time, like, she can't do that. She has a privilege that you don't have. She has a privilege that other people in the community don't have. They don't have that. They don't have access to certain resources that she has. They don't have the same privileges as her. So for you to turn around and say that this privileged person needs to lead us to liberation and needs to lead us to self-love and lead us to accepting who we are and all of this other stuff, it's unfair. It's extremely unfair to her and to everybody else in those communities, because like we said, there are actually activists out there that fight towards those things. Give platforms to those people, build those people up, that they live, breathe, eat, sleep these things. Let them have that platform.
And we need to put more money into our own politicians. I think we wait until the last minute until we have a certain number of candidates left, and then we have to choose from them, and none of them really represent us. I think if we build up our own black politicians and our own people that we know and that fight for us and put money into them, then we'll be able to have better representation.
And another thing I want to say, this is my final statement. Because shit, I love Clubhouse, baby. Semaj know, JeJuan know. I be on Clubhouse all day. I be in the conversations. I be listening, partaking, and just trying to learn more. So one of the things that I heard in Clubhouse was that we were talking about politicians, and somebody was talking about Barack Obama and all this other thing, like, what he did for the gay community, XYZ. But when you look at when he first started off in that political campaign, he was not checking for the LGBTQ people. He did not care about it. He didn't want to speak towards it. He didn't have a stance at all. And I'm not saying that, him not having a stance mean that he just didn't support it, but it was the fact that you didn't have a stance and then you switched because these LGBTQ organizations came to you dangling money in your face to get you to switch, saying that, if you support us, if you make policies for us, that we will give you this money to help fund you. I think that is extremely, as LGBTQ people, I understand we have to, we have to go to one of these candidates. We can go to this LGBTQ candidate to get them to fund them to do the work, or you can go to this candidate that's already funded by like $40 million or whatever the case may be, and you can fund him even more because you're already seeing the project that he's projected to win. But I think we give them too much. And that's why I say I don't believe in allyship. I don't believe in patting people on the back for being decent human beings, because a lot of people celebrated him and uplifted him like, oh my gosh, I love you. You're an LGBTQ icon. And we're going to give you these awards and this recognition and all of this other stuff. Hell no. Give those awards, give those that recognition to Black people of color that are LGBTQ, that are actively going into their communities to do that work. Because I guarantee you that he may have sat down with some LGBTQ people to hear their insight and things like that, but it was those interns, those people in his cabinet that actually were into those communities, listening to the needs, listening to what would benefit them, to what would push them forward, what would help build us up. He didn't do that work. He just reaped the benefits, signed his name on a contract, and since he was the president, it benefited him. But we need to stop patting these politicians on their backs for being decent human beings, because it's other people that, you know, they don't get paid.
They really give a fuck. They out here doing the damn thing. They out here giving a fuck.
They're taking money from their families' pockets, from their mouths, from their necessities to put back into communities. And that was one of the things that like kind of touched on in Clubhouse. Like, you know, trans women, they go up. If trans women have funds, they donate. If LGBTQ people have funds, we donate. But we don't have we don't have the same resources that Black cis hetero people have. But we are actively putting our money into the Black community when the Black community don't provide us the same opportunities and the same resources. So,
and that's it.
And that's that, honey. Woo!
Wow.
I feel the spirit moving in this room.
Please.
Baby, the ancestors, the gay ancestors, and all
they
of it.
They stomping right now.
I'm dead. You know what? And
I'm surprised they're not making themselves sing.
Oh, they probably is. We just can't see them.
Right. Something gonna fly across in the background.
Wait, hold on. Don't say that, because I got my water next to this damn extension cord. Hell, let me move it.
Child, they're gonna fry you.
Baby, they ain't gonna fry me, honey. It's gonna spark up, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, spirit.
Okay, girl.
Okay. I hear you, honey.
JeJuan,
she said we on to something.
JeJuan, you was one of the ones that was riding, huh?
You know what? I'm dead. And just like that, you know, I would like to get into Psyched Out. So,
wait, hold on. Before you start, tell us what Psyched Out is and why you wanted to, because this was Semaj's idea, Psyched Out.
Okay, well, I love therapy. I advocate for therapy. I advocate for mental health and knowing yourself and knowing your wealth. And for me, Psyched Out, I just wanted to get into the mind, the body, and really see our influences, you know, intrapersonally. So this thing I wanted to do is first impressions, but, you know, I wanted to have a little twist with it. So we're going to do each person. So let's say we start with Tay, and me and, you know, JeJuan will go talk about Tay. I want us to not only do our first impressions of him, but to impersonate him. Look at them. Look at them.
I can't.
Look at JeJuan.
I can't.
No, okay. So who would like to go first? I mean, y'all can start with me. Y'all can impersonate me since y'all feel like...
Oh, girl.
I'm going to do it. You ready? I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Let me know when to start.
Who are you doing?
I'm doing you.
Oh. Well, tell me your first impression and then do it.
Oh, are we not going to use the same recordings?
No.
Well, okay, how about this? You act out your first impression of me.
Well, no, we can't. Remember, we can't use that audio, though, because it was messed up. So we have to redo this. Come on, JeJuan.
I really don't, because it's not gonna be the same.
Yes, it is. It's going to be the same. Say what you said, baby. The listeners is
Speak from
listening.
the heart.
You are an actor. What do you mean it's not going to be the same, babe? If you don't put on your damn acting boots and get the boot in.
Get to boot.
Oh my gosh. First impressions, wow, iconic. Definitely for, I don't know who should go first. Semaj should go first or should Tay go first? Okay, we're gonna do Tay first.
Oh, girl.
Not oh girl. Oh yes. So me and Tay met at Prairie View A&M University. We were in the same class with Dr. Godwin. Shout out to Dr. Godwin. We were in the class communication.
Media literacy.
Oh, media literacy. Okay, love that. Yes, we were in media literacy. And we had this argument about, was it female rap?
It was, I think the general topic was
somebody being problematic, correct?
Yeah, like cancel culture. That's what it was, cancel culture.
Cancel culture, right. And we were talking about Kanye and how the same energy is not with, how the same energy it is with celebrities, you know, with males and also females. And I brought up Azealia Banks and, you know, how I really liked her. And then Tay was like, you like this problematic bitch? Like, you really stand this hoe? And I was like, I stand her. I said, now the delivery of what she says is like just poo cheese, yes. But my sis is always telling the truth. And really from that point on, we were just, because I followed him on Twitter, you know, way beforehand, but we had never actually spoken, had a conversation until that day. So iconic.
Wow. And
then from that point on, we started working on a YouTube episodic series called Reality Assistants on YouTube. Y'all go check it out. That's Reality Assistants. And I just really loved to work with him. He was very driven, really nice, knew what had to be done. And so from that point on, we just, you know, was hanging out and like we've been close ever since. Now with Semaj.
No, wait. You got to do your impersonation of Tay.
Oh, my impersonation?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, first of all, that's when he got his twist in. That's flipping his bang. That's number one.
I think I've done it since we've been on this call.
Yeah, that's why I did. That's why I said, because that's what you do all the time. I feel like your impersonation is me impersonation because I feel like we're the same.
Well, y'all gonna gag when I do it, child.
I know Semaj finna come put his foot on our neck.
He finna put, okay. Yeah.
I am.
He's gonna choose violence.
He's gonna choose violence? Okay, well, I'm ready because I'm not choosing violence today. I did earlier, but I'm not gonna do it today.
You did. You did do it.
What, earlier?
You did.
I did.
And we had to cut the cameras.
We had to cut the cameras. I'm past that moment. I'm past that moment now. Let's stop talking about it no more. But, okay, so my first encounter with Semaj, we were in middle school. And Semaj was just like this little old shy thing, child. Just this little, what grade were we in? 6th grade? I'm not going to read you. We were in 6th grade, right?
Yeah.
So 6th grader shy, very soft-spoken, you know. Oh, child, a year of that, honey. And I turned him out, honey. He was loud, finger popping, twerking, singing, all of that, honey. I was like, oh, honey.
To be honest, it was really your whole family.
Yeah.
Because if I hung out with your mama and your grandmama, it was over.
Let me just say this, though. I love JeJuan's family because they all are key. It's very much so. You could tell where JeJuan gets his personality from.
Yes.
Because I see them on Snapchat and all of that.
Absolutely.
His mom over the phone. They are one and the same. Just a gag.
Yeah.
A good gag, though.
Shout out to God and the ancestors and the creators for making my family the way it. And the gumbo, yeah, the ancestors really stirring my pot, y'all. They really stir me in my family's pot, and I just really love and I stand their ancestors. And you keep on doing that, my God. Anyways, yeah, I'm just blessed to have them. I'm blessed to have y'all too, by the way. But yeah, I just met Semaj. Like we love music. We love, you know, Beyonce. We just got together. We love singing. We were in choir together for a long time. Yes, the gays do sing.
the gays, all the arts. All the gays were in all the arts.
Okay, honey. And we just really grew from that point on. And we just been We like peanut butter and jelly. We never. You and me must never part. So, yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
dead. Well,
Yeah.
I want to go next.
Okay,
go.
Semaj, choose
Go
violence.
No. Tay, you go. I'll be the finale.
Yeah, since he's choosing violence and I'm not.
Ah.
So like JeJuan has said, we met in media literacy class, and that was the conversation because it was just like, bitch, we over here talking about problematic people, and you really gonna choose Azalea Banks to talk about
to rest my case.
to talk about like this topic. Like you couldn't find nobody else to choose. But I do agree because like now, like I had to step back because I know she is a very problematic queen, and just like examine it because yes, I do believe a lot of the times Azalea Banks is very truthful in what she says. She just kind of ruins her messages because she want to be shady and very like very problematic. But I love that because it's like the energy that she has. She's constant in herself. She has this energy. She has this personality. And she's true to that. She's true to who she is. And I do believe like she's very talented. The pen is strong. The art is strong. She's strong. And it's just like, I had to step back and like view that like, okay, yes, this is true. Like she does not she gets more hate towards her problematic energy and her problematic stances than her male counterparts. And she deserves a lot more than what she has. But yeah, like meeting JeJuan, we had that encounter. But I wouldn't say that was my first impression. That was just the first time we interacted. I really didn't think too deep into it because I believe like in a sense that sometimes gay men, especially gay black men, when we interact like that, it's a tend to like bump heads and be like, okay, I can't fuck with that person because we have opposing views.
Which I never thought. I mean, just because somebody has a strong... Just because somebody has an opinion don't mean I don't like you or I don't want to be friends with you.
It's because we are intelligent individuals. We know that we can have two separate perspectives and
he's absolutely right.
Yeah. And we know that, it's not harmful. It wasn't a harmful perspective for either one of us to have, for us to be like, okay, well, I can't interact with you. So when we met again, filming Reality Assistants, it was just like, it was through a mutual friend, shout out to Cecily, who like really was the person that put together the friend.
She was the glue. She put the pieces together, honestly.
She was like, y'all are going to work together and we're going to love each other. And we did. We do.
We do, yes.
But yeah, so it's like we work together and I just looked at him, JeJuan, like we said, JeJuan is very like energetic. He's loud. He's very like confident in who he is.
Right.
And that was like things that, when you love those things about yourself, you love them in other people because you understand how hard it was when you had to, like when you were a child and you didn't have those traits, when you didn't love yourself. When
Can we talk about that in another episode?
We can.
What made us become who we are today?
Yeah, we can. Yes. The next episode. How about that?
Wow.
But, it was like, you see these traits that you love about yourself and other people. And you're like, this person has amazing energy. I want to get to know them. So me and JeJuan, we started hanging out, Baby JeJuan would text me, open the door, come open the gate. JeJuan would bust into my house. First of all, sometimes JeJuan wouldn't even text me. He would just knock on my door and my roommate would let him inside our apartment. And I would hear him, hi, nigga. And I'm just like, who is this? I'm pissed.
Baby, so and that's why I did it to him. Window.
That's my impression of JeJuan because he is very much like, he would knock on my door and I'd be like, who is it? 1 second, he'd be like, open the door. And I'm like, why are you yelling at 11 o'clock in the morning? Like, so I would open the door, my roommate would be inside his little room, like doing whatever he doing. JeJuan would be yelling and stuff. I'd be like, JeJuan, if you don't calm down, people at PB, they be clocking each other in the group chats. Okay. But I love JeJuan. And then like Semaj.
Well, do your JeJuan impression. What's your JeJuan impression?
Oh, he did already. It was the hey nigga.
Where do you want to eat at?
Right, where do you want to eat at? What do you want to eat at lunch for?
That's JeJuan. So Semaj, very much like, me and Semaj became friends because of JeJuan. But before, I had actually met Semaj formerly. I had saw him. I was walking through the square, which is one of the housing complexes on campus, and I saw Semaj like taking pictures outside, like in our little, what would it be called? It's like kind of like
Pavilion. Pavilion.
Yeah, kind of. It's just like a little social space.
I do not remember this.
And he was like taking pictures to my. You probably still got him on Instagram or something. Because I remember seeing them though. It was like by the little hammock things or something like that. Or it might have been something for Snapchat or something like that. But yeah, he was out there taking pictures. And I walked by. I was like, baby, first of all, Semaj's skin, wow, glistens in the light.
Very much so. Very much so.
It is smooth, shiny. It's giving you enzymes, vitamins.
Please.
But very much vitamin D.
Yes. So I saw him out there and I was like, oh, okay, like the tens, giving us tens very much so, giving us face, giving us fashion, like always. And I was like, I wanted to say something to be like, okay, I see you or something like that. But I was like, no, I'm not going to do that because I don't know. Like, he probably going to be like, who the fuck is that? So I was like, didn't do that. But like, that was like my first impression. But actually like meeting him through JeJuan, I was like, okay, he's cool. It wasn't like, you know, like I said, sometimes Black gays can be standoffish. But I don't take that approach with anybody because I'm like, especially like my friends or just anything like that, because I hate when people are like that with me. So I'm very open to receiving, like being friends with anybody. So it was like when we first met, it was just like we was friends. That's my sister.
Right.
Oh.
And Semaj, okay, my impression of Semaj.
I was like, you gonna do me?
I was like, oh my God. Y'all are going to hell. It's not even noon yet, and y'all are already tweeting orgies across the group chat.
Please.
And then listen, and then 3 hours later, he comes with content being posted in the group chat.
Well.
Because this was an impersonation. This is not a read. But that's fine.
You're going to choose violence.
You're going to choose, you're about to choose violence. You're about to choose violence.
JeJuan spared you. JeJuan spared you. I did.
and now he's about to chop us up and eat us for dinner. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
I will say, okay, I'm gonna do Tay first. So
I knew your little ass would say, I knew your little ass. When I tell you, we be thinking like me and Semaj be thinking for how long we've known each other, we really think alike.
Be thinking alike.
And really it'll be on point. And it's kind of scary if you really think about it. Really scary.
Okay, so I pretty much like how Tay, first seen me, I first seen him. I would be going to JeJuan's house every day after this certain class, and I would be going to his house while he's getting ready so we could go to lunch, whatever. Now, I passed by Tay. He would always walk with these 2 girls, and he would, like, walk past me, and I would just be like, this hair, baby. When y'all get a chance to see Tay's hair out, I'd be like, this hair, baby. And I would always be amazed because I had never seen somebody with that much hair, okay? And it actually being taken care of.
That part.
So
that part.
I was like, oh, this hair is crazy. So that wasn't, that was my first like real impression. But then meeting Tay through JeJuan, anybody that JeJuan brings to me, I'm always like, okay, this must be a good person because I trust JeJuan's judgment. So I'm always open to meeting new people. And Tay has always been insane. He's literally like, I feel like you and JeJuan, y'all are on the same level as far as chaotic, problematic, like craziness.
What?
Y'all are there.
I'm problematic.
Y'all will go hand in hand, back and forth.
And will. But we love each other. We love each other.
So it was literally just having like another JeJuan in my friend group. Like you said, we sisters. That's it. So now, my Tay impression is
I'm scared. The water.
Wait. Let me think. Baby, it's not giving what it needs to give. Okay, if you want to say something, be about it, baby. Okay. wait. It's the if you want to gag, if you want to key. Wow, I'm really at a loss. I really wanted to think of something better.
But he's hitting it on the nail.
I really is. It's something else that I was gonna say and I forgot. Ooh,
Throw some violence in there.
Yeah, bullying works. Yeah.
I'm dead. No, this is what he always says to me. No, you chose violence. You chose it. You chose violence.
I received that.
Yeah. It was very honest and from the heart.
Yeah.
Now I feel bad because I drug him and he ain't dragged me.
No, it's fine. That's okay.
There's plenty of other times.
Yeah. So now, JeJuan, we like you said, we've been friends since 6th grade, so we know each other like the cold side of the pillow. Okay, like, and
literally.
Meeting him in 6th grade choir, for me, from my standpoint, I was always the quiet one. I always, stood to myself, and I was always the black kid. Like, forget anything else, I was always just the black kid in the class. And so, going to middle school and seeing other people that looked like me, and challenge my viewpoints of what people and humans were supposed to look like and act like that really opened my eyes to a lot of things. And so, I always looked up to JeJuan, like Tay said, like, in being confident in yourself and being like this presence when you walk into the room, because JeJuan has like this presence there. So it's like, okay, I always looked up to that as being like, okay, I need Tay.
Oh my God, I really thought he was crying. I said, oh my God, please stop. Oh my God.
I'm dead.
Is this the way?
It's the way that you're selling the scene. Go ahead.
Who's the actor now?
No, who is the actor? I was going to say.
I don't know where I would be today.
So ignorant.
Y'all are terrible.
Continue.
Y'all are terrible.
So I always looked up to that in JeJuan, and just being this presence and being yourself, no matter who's in the room or whatever. And so it kind of opened me up. And so that was my first impression of him, was just seeing who he was and him accepting himself and being like, I'm cool with that and I want to be like that. So that's where, our friendship blossomed. Now, as far as the impersonation.
Oh my God.
Ooh, child, honey. Yeah. That part. Wait. The what does he say to me all the time? Oh my God. Now see, if I got on your ass, it's gonna be to hell. You need to go to hell. Wait. It's the no, I'm not looking right. I have to do my hair. Oh my God, let me get in the shower. Baby, it's 9:00. I'm going to bed, so y'all gonna have to I'm dead. But those are my, many impressions of JeJuan.
Thank you. Well, you did that. I will give it that to you. You did that.
You did. Wow.
And that was just them getting to know us. Wow, we talked a lot on this episode about a plethora of things. You can tell that we are eager to talk with you guys, with the listeners, on so many different topics. So I can't wait.
This is I want to say I love this because this is really like, this is our friendship. Like, this isn't just this show. We talk about things like this all the time. So that's why it's so cool that we can kind of like share these things now, because it's kind of like insight to how we mesh as friends.
Right.
I can't wait till we get to an episode where we get emotional, because I'm ready to bring out the tears. Honestly, truly.
Girl, you're going to have me crying all over the platform.
It's probably going to be my episode. Child, I can't wait.
Not your episode. Now we see, look, we got so much stuff planned for y'all. Everybody, where can the people find you on social media? Starting with Tay.
Well, let me pull up my socials, because I realized last time I spelled them wrong. Okay, so
I'm dead.
Y'all can find me on Twitter at TDJAIRE. That is TDJAIR. Y'all can find me on Instagram at TayDJAIR, TAEDJAIR. And yeah.
Semaj.
Well, you know, you can find me at Completely Semaj. Semaj, Semaj, at Completely Semaj on everything.
Yes, and you can find me on Instagram at JeJuan with 3 N's. That's JeJuan with 3 N. Well, it'd be 2 other N's after that, but you get it. And then for Twitter, it's gonna be at JeJuan98 at JeJuan98. And if anybody
And
doesn't have,
don't forget to follow our Twitter page for the Xcuse Me podcast.
yes,
That is XCUSEMEPOD. Xcuse Me Pod.
yes.
Period.
Thank you guys for joining in on the Xcuse Me podcast yet again, y'all. And we'll see y'all next week. Bye.